We're going to talk about forgiveness today as part of embracing change in 2023 and why self forgiving others is really important for your vibration in particular. And this is something that's really been kind of brought to me front and center over the last kind of 6 to 8 weeks. And I thought I wanted to share it with you because, certainly for you, Mickey, now that you're 100% high vibe, you'll now be in that process of understanding how you can generate love in any moment, but you're finessing still and untangling still a lot of those experiences and thoughts that you've had over the years, because it is a bit of a sort of constant journey, if you like. So yeah, I'm going to get cracking because I've got quite a lot to cover. I've made loads of notes, and you can see I've got loads of notes, and then I want to read you guys something from Believe, because I think this will also help. And you've had a busy week, lots of energy. Oh, I do love a bit of energy work. It's very satisfying. Okay, so let's talk about forgiveness. So, can you relate to some of these things? Perfectionism, constantly feeling you're not measuring up, or you haven't done enough or learned enough, or you're not good enough, that your sibling or childhood friend or cousin or another relative is always that bit better than you and you can never aspire to be as good as them. That's around boundaries, right? That on one hand. On the other hand, it can generate a lot of anxiety and a lot of anger, feelings of disappointment, feelings of grief and guilt and sorrow. These are all the low stored vibrations that you can store in your body. Things like childhood abuse, bullying, addictions, including addictions to bad relationships, right? Physical, mental, and emotional abuse, infidelity, cultural pressures. You know, I'm Asian, I'm Bengali from India. We have cultural pressures about how to be as a woman, you know. For example, I know some women feel the pressure that they're not fair enough. I'm not considered particularly fair, and so for some families I'm too dark to even be considered. If I was thinking of getting married again, I'd be too dark for them. So you have cultural pressures. Those kind of things also generate depression, anxiety, guilt, anger, sorrow, and they're on a repeating cycle, right? And we feel anger at the person who's generated these emotions. Hi, Leonie. How lovely to see you here. Say hi. How's your week been? We're talking about forgiveness today. Um, Ex partners generate enormous anger, especially if a child is involved, right? The breakup of a marriage creates feelings of failure, it creates feelings of anger, sorrow, guilt, because you might be affecting and worrying about the effect on your children. You've got your own grief and sorrow to deal with, their grief and sorrow to deal with, the extended family's grief and sorrow to deal with, right? So these emotions that are generated by those experiences get stored in your body as low stored vibration. And why should you care about that? Because you're running your daily life, you're busy, you're working, you're looking after your families, you're doing your clubs, you're kind of living your life. The problem with these low stored vibrations is it's to do with how your brain works, right? Your brain learns through experience, and your brain learns that some emotions are triggered, right, by similar, not the same, but similar in experiences. So, for example, I'm working with a client at the moment, and we're looking at her money issues because she's really struggling with generating enough money in her business. Okay, and I got her to look at all her money issues, memories from her childhood. And there were loads, there were a good 20 that she could just reel off at the top of her head. And she found that they really evoked a feeling of shame and sadness in her. Now, her brain has learnt this. In her current employment, she has her own business, and she works within a facility, and the owners of that facility, through their behaviour, have triggered, and their demands have triggered a feeling of shame in her, and then she feels bad because she feels like she's not supporting her family. And she's reacting very similarly, she was telling me, to how she did as a child. She gets overwhelmed, she gets anxious, she wants to just hide under the duvet, she stops looking after herself, her self-care goes out the window. And now, as we've gone through the day and I've been coaching her through the day, what's happened is now she can feel this anger coming up. How dare they do this to me? How dare they impose this on me? They're so rich compared to me. They're really well off. I'm a small struggling business. This is now the self-talk that's going on. As a child, when she was not allowed to spend money or was made to feel guilty, there would have been this kind of anger going on in her mind, probably without her even realising it, because her unconscious mind would have been creating a whole narrative around this guilt and shame she felt about wanting things and wanting to have money to do things, right? So your experiences, hi Roseanne, your experiences generate emotions, right? The experiences are then stored as low vibration within your body, okay? Your brain then kind of goes, oh, I know this kind of scenario, and it regurgitates those emotions for you again. And what happens is you start to experience different situations but the same emotions again. So, for example, you might have friends keep letting you down again, right, over and over again. You meet someone new, you get on really well, you think this is going to be a really great friendship, and then bang, they do something and you feel disappointed, and you feel disappointed in them, you feel disappointed in yourself for letting yourself get sucked in, you might feel some shame that you allowed it to happen again. And all the while, this friend is just being true to who they are, right? They're not trying to evoke those emotions in you, but that is what is happening to them. So it starts showing up in your behaviours. You begin to withdraw from people. You begin to hold people at arm's length, which is why if you want to find your lover, your next partner, your eternal love, you might find it really, really hard to open your heart up, to lower those boundaries and those walls, because you have been experiencing in the past being let down by lovers, or even your male role model or your primary female role model. So that can really affect how you behave, right? Another way that our experiences can make us withdraw is you could have relationships where you just do anything for everybody to your own detriment, because you're afraid that you'll be left alone, or you'll be ignored, or you won't be loved enough because you didn't do enough, right? That's the other end of withdrawing, okay? But it's the same thing, because you're constantly beating yourself up of do more, be more, be a better friend, be a better daughter, be a better son, be a better spouse, be a better girlfriend, boyfriend. It doesn't really matter what the thing is, it's just be better at it, because whatever you do is not enough, and if you don't do enough, you won't be loved, wanted, cared for, included, right? And all of this has come from your experiences and the things that your brain has remembered. So I'm going to give you an example from my own life, just to give you some context so that you can understand. And I have a few things that I've kind of been working through. So I have some family who I've not spoken to really for about 11 years. And it was a real source of grief for me, because I don't have a huge family. So to lose quite a few of these people and not be talking to them was very, very difficult for me. And it generated a great deal of anger. It generated feelings of abandonment. It generated feelings of, well, if you're going to be like that, I'm going to be like that, right? I wasn't going to allow them to ride roughshod over me. And for many years, I held on to that anger as a safety mechanism, as a way to keep myself safe. And recently I've been doing a piece of work on myself to do with worthiness, right? And I'm just sort of untangling a few little nitty gritty things that are kind of getting in my way. Nothing serious. But when I spoke to Athalia and my team, I was like, so what do I need to do about this situation? And they were like, you need to forgive them. And I actually felt really able to do that. If I had tried this a year ago, even 6 months ago, I would have gone, nope, not doing that. This is not a problem of my making, it's a problem of their making, their stance, their behaviours. But actually, what I realised was my energy also contributes to that situation. You cannot be a person who is in a bad relationship by yourself, right? The other person and you combined together create the bad relationship. If you're bullied and you know the bully, there's something about your energies which allows the bullying to happen. I'm not saying the bully is right. I'm not saying that you are wrong or that you are in the right. What I'm saying is this is at an energetic level. There is something in your energy that allows yourself to be placed as a victim, because that's how you're feeling energetically. I feel small. I feel like a victim. I feel put upon. Energetically speaking, your bully recognizes that, right? So in my case, what was going on, this falling out with my family followed my dad's death, and it was within a year or so of my dad dying. And it was actually to do with the fact that I felt really abandoned by my dad, and I had learnt those feelings when I was a child because I had a very disrupted childhood. So what happened was the universe showed me, oh look, here's some more abandonment for you to experience, right? And I knew about it, and I got angry this time, whereas previously I just acquiesced to it and accepted it. This time I got really angry and I pushed back, which kind of surprised my family because it's not really who I am. But I pushed back because I was just like, I'm not having this. But in the process of pushing back and being angry and holding on to that anger, which is really human and really normal, what I actually did was cut myself off from love, because anger is a fear-based emotion, right? And the act of forgiving someone is actually, and this is the beauty of forgiveness, it is the act of loving yourself. So when you forgive someone else and you release that emotion out of your body, you are actually giving yourself some love. You're showing yourself that you're worthy of self-love. You're worthy of God's love. You're worthy of being loved. You don't need to hold on to that emotion anymore. Does that mean you forget? No. Does it mean you have to go and hang out with those people? No, it does not. But what it does mean is you're not holding on to the emotion of anger within your physical container. And why is that important? Because when we hold on to these low vibrations like jealousy, rage, anger, grief, sorrow, and all the things that go into, say, addictive behaviours, what we're doing actually is we are lowering the vibration of our physical bodies. So we experience physical health problems. So with anger and lack of forgiveness, you experience things like muscle ache, constant tiredness. You might have some digestive problems, particularly associated with the liver or the gallbladder. You might experience food cravings. You might experience things like problems with your menstruation, inflammation problems, skin problems. There's a whole host of physical health problems that you might begin to experience as a result of your health problems and holding on to this anger. So the question then is, if you want to live this high vibe life, which, given that you're in my group, I'm kind of presuming that you do, and you want to enjoy love and joy and excitement and happiness and laughter and all the high vibe emotions, The question is, are you ready to forgive? Now, in forgiveness, there are two aspects, right? The first aspect is forgiving them, right? We're not forgetting, we're not letting them back in our life, we're just forgiving them for their actions because they were acting in a way that they thought was appropriate at that time based on the knowledge and experiences they had. And remember, they will have their own disconnection from love, right? So they're reacting in that way, okay? And the second thing that you're forgiving is yourself. You're forgiving yourself for your own reaction, which was based on what you knew then, back then. You're forgiving yourself for holding on to that anger. You're forgiving yourself for allowing yourself to feel so bad, to feel so disconnected, to feel so lost and lonely. You're forgiving yourself for all the pain and the grief that that situation created for you. And in that forgiveness, your cells begin to respond. I have a cyst that's pretty much in the center of my chest, and you know, I've had it checked out and it's fine. But as I've been doing this forgiveness work, it's been amazing. It's been shrinking and softening, and it's beginning to disappear. And I was like, I did not realize that it was linked to forgiveness work. I thought it was linked to something else. But in my journey of forgiveness, I've not only had to forgive myself, I've had to forgive my family, I've had to forgive God because I felt God had let me down and God had abandoned me. He said he would be there, but he wasn't, because if he had been, surely he wouldn't have made life so difficult for me. And yet the truth was God was always there, but it was in my disconnection from love that I had lost the ability to recognize his presence, right? So when you're forgiving, you're not just forgiving the other person, you are forgiving yourself for being in that position where that other person managed to hurt you. So any questions on this, please put them in the comments. Any situations you want some guidance on, let me know. If you're watching on replay, please use the hashtag replay. And if you want to share, please do. I'm just going to sit more comfortable. I'm falling off my chair. And then I'm just going to read something to you that I think would be quite interesting. It's from Believe, the book by Liv and Raf Akanya. And it says, in the moment, choose love. This is the ultimate mastering of your experience. No matter how high vibrational you are, you will still experience contrast, for this is the joy of being physical, the joy of continuous expansion and journeying through your physical life, creating more and more desires on your path. You can, however, once you are predominantly high vibration, swiftly move away from contrast and the generation of in-the-moment experience-based low vibration. So that means, supposing one of you guys wrote to me a really critical message and you just didn't like my live today and you thought my delivery was rubbish and you thought the subject was inappropriate and you wrote me, and it might provoke a generation of annoyance from me or some fear in me, or it might make me feel like I've let you all down, right? That's the in the moment emotion. But because I am 100% high vibration, I can very swiftly turn that around and choose love. And in choosing love, I can go, do you know what? That's their point of view and I'm going to let them have it. I'm not going to try and argue with it. I'm not going to try and change their mind because it's based on where they are now. Instead, I'm just going to allow myself to forgive them for the way they've spoken to me, and I'm going to forgive myself for judging myself so harshly. And what happens is, in that forgiveness, I choose love. I choose to connect myself to God's love again. And so my vibration just stays high. It doesn't drop down, right? This is the beauty of high vibration, of being high vibrational. So you can, however, once you are predominantly high vibration, swiftly move away from contrast and the generation of in-the-moment experience-based low vibration to a fast understanding of that now experience and the growth associated with it, you will ultimately then feel love for that experience and the growth associated. This is in the moment feeling love. Love for yourself first, love for the self, love for the others involved. And what this then does is change your transitional vibration, if it is relatively in the moment, from one of low vibrations such as fear, shock, shame, sadness, loss, lack of love, to love. And if you catch this and truly feel it in the moment, then your transitional vibration changes also. And the low vibration in your transitional vibration moves away. Transitional vibration is in the moment vibration you are generating through your experiences. The experience you have just had is stored within your subconscious mind as a love labeled experience. And so what happens is, supposing someone else came at me and kind of said, I really don't like your lives, I think they're rubbish, and I really think you should close your group, blah blah blah. All that happens is that I actually, when I recall this, I only feel love for that message. I don't feel the fear, I don't feel the shame, I don't feel any of that low vibration, because I have relabeled the whole thing as love, right? This is the power of forgiveness. This is the power of you choosing to actively forgive someone who's hurt you, right? This is the power you have to change your life from low vibration to high vibration, right? It's powerful, and you have the free will to do this. You have the choice to go, I'm going to let go of this. Actually, I'm just going to love that person. I'm not going to let them back into my life because I don't need to do that. But I'm going to love this person and let them come into let their experiences leave my life, right? I'm not going to let them dominate my behavior. So you have to understand that when you have parents who are narcissistic, or you have siblings who are toxic, or you are colleagues, or anything like that happens, understand that those things come from, it's an opportunity for you to change that horrible experience into something that's high vibrational for you. Okay, so how do you know if you've forgiven them? So when I was guided to forgive my family, my body, whenever I release something energetic, I do big heaving sighs, like right? That's my sign that something's changing. For some of you, it will be you feel very tired. Some of you might feel lighter. Some of you might start doing energetic burps or energetic hiccups. Some of you might feel a need to just move your body very suddenly and kind of be like, yes, I've got to move, or stretch, or just kind of move around just to get your body, your blood pumping around. These are all signs of change in your energetic body and in your vibration within your body. There's also a change going on for that person, right? And that's why I posted the clip that I posted from the Big Bang Theory earlier today. Because if you've watched it, and I hope you have, but if you haven't, go back and watch it. It's only kind of a minute long, couple of minutes long. Leonard has been holding on to all this anger towards his mother because she was not the mother he wanted or needed. But in the end, he actually said, do you know what? I have to forgive myself before I can even forgive you. I have to forgive myself for being so angry with you. I have to forgive myself for wanting you to be something you're never going to be. And as soon as he forgave her, you know, as you watch the clip, you'll see she says, oh, actually, it feels good to be forgiven, because she could feel the pressure of his rage. And she was not in a position, being who she was, to change to ever meet his expectations, right? So when you forgive yourself and you forgive the other person, you are releasing all of you from a position of stagnation, from a position of it's got to be my way or the highway. That is the power of forgiveness. So I would like you just to think about, if there is a situation in your life that has been, it doesn't even have to be current, it can be a current thing if you prefer. Think about what emotions you're bringing to it. Think about, are you ready to let go of those emotions? And if you are, I want you to connect to your higher self and go, right, I want to forgive this person. Can you help me with that forgiveness, please? And then they will hold you in love while you just go, do you know what? I forgive them. It's as simple as that. I forgive them. I don't accept that their behaviour was appropriate, but I forgive them and I forgive myself, and I release all that stored, pent up anger, all that pent up emotion. I just let it all go because I forgive them and I forgive myself. And then watch the magic happen. So, what could happen if you forgave someone? So, some of the things that can happen is, first of all, you feel a whole lot better, right? So, we've talked about in the moment what could happen. I'm just reading what Roseanne said. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute, Roseanne. So, in the moment, you feel better because you're not carrying the weight of it. What also happens is that if you have to interact with those people, then you find that the interaction becomes easier. Instead of constantly being on tenterhooks, instead of constantly worrying, did they say something? Did they look at me? Did they not look at me? You're not doing any of that. You're just turning up and just being yourself because you've let go of that emotion. And in the longer term, it allows you to keep growing. You're not constantly being drawn back to old situations, to situations that no longer serve you. You're actually allowing yourself to move forward, feeling lighter. Some of you may experience some weight loss or a change in your eating habits because you don't need to keep fueling the anger. I mean, how great is that? No one ever told you when you had to lose weight, you just need to forgive people and you're going to drop weight, right? Brilliant. What an easy and effortless way to do it. So think about that as well. Okay, let me answer Roseanne's question. Please, can you give me any insights and clarity regarding my line manager? I've been choosing love and sending her love, and I continue to practice staying in balance and maintaining it. What do you want to change, Roseanne, with her? I know we've had a conversation about where you're at with this, but what would you like from your manager is the question I'm getting, that you feel you're not getting from your manager. That would be a really helpful question to answer. Okay. So that's all I have to say. Now, there's a couple of things I just wanted to talk to you guys about before I run away and enjoy the rest of my evening. Oh, I love me. Lovely, Gwen. Love it, love it, love it. So, okay, so the reason why your attention is being brought to that is I love me gives you strength, and fortitude is the word I'm being given. And I love me helps you stand straighter. So on Saturday, if you feel nervous, connecting with your Buddhist truth, it will really light up what you're going to share with us. It will really have an impact. Okay, so just do that. Okay, so a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about. I am away in February for 2 weeks, and due to time difference, I'm not sure if I can come on live. I'm going to see if I can. But would you like me to invite someone else in to host a live and talk to you about their thing? I have a couple of friends in mind that I'm wondering whether you guys would like to hear from them at all. And then the second thing is I am thinking of running a course called Connecting to the Truth of You. It is based on the releasing process that Liv and Raf detail in the Believe book, and it will help you get to your broadest truth. Your broadest truth is the truth that resides in your soul. And this truth has such a power. It's like I said to Gwen, it gives you strength, it gives you fortitude, It helps realign you to yourself. It's a very powerful statement for you. So if you are interested in that, let me know, and I will be posting some details about that over the coming weeks. I won't be running it till March at the earliest, but if you would like to know more, let me know. And finally, if you would like to order some cards, as I said, the run is arriving from the printers tomorrow, and I will be posting them out on Monday. I'll post the link below, and I can't wait to see the photos of you holding your cards. So if you have ordered cards from me and you do get them, please do post them in the group and on social media, because I want these cards to reach every corner of the world. They're infused with hope, trust and faith and truth, and they are meant to lovingly help you look at your beliefs, look at your thoughts, and help you lovingly change them so that you can live a high vibe life. Right, on that note, my lovelies, I think I'm going to let you go. Stay warm, because we've got this cold snap going on for a little bit longer. Fortitude is one of your capabilities too. Oh, that's hilarious, Gwen. I love it. So stay warm. It's cold out there. Hopefully the cold snap won't last for much longer, and the snow will go as well. And I will be back next Thursday live as usual in the group at 6 p.m. UK time. If you watch this and have any questions, just put them in the comments and I will reply to them. If you have any questions about the cards, please also just put them in the comments and I will reply as well. Have a lovely evening, my friends. Look after yourselves, be kind to each other, and most of all, forgive yourself for the things that you think you did wrong, and let go of that energy that no longer serves you. Lots of love. Take care.